Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the chambers of heart. In our last class, we discussed about external features of heart. Now, chambers of heart. First, what are the properties of right atrium? See, first we have to discuss the external features of right atrium. External features. See, the chamber is receiving the superior vena cava at the upper end and the inferior vena cava at the lower end. See the first point. What is meant by that? See the next slide. See here, I told you this one is a right atrium. This is the right ventricle. Opposite side, this one is a left ventricle, left atrium. So these two are the right atrium and left atrium. These two are the two atria. These two are the two ventricles. Okay. So this right atrium, which receives the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So these two veins mainly opens into this right atrium. That point is clear now. Okay. Then the upper end is having one extension known as the right auricle. So now that point is also clear. What is meant by right auricle? So I told you this one is a right atrium, the superior vena cava in the upper end and inferior vena cava in the lower end. Now here we can see one extension which is seen anterior to this aorta. See, this one is aorta. Okay, ascending aorta, then arch of aorta, then it runs downward known as descending aorta. Those are the parts of the aorta. We'll discuss it later. Anyway, anterior to this aorta, we can see the extension of this right atrium. See, this one is a right atrium. This right atrium extends into this portion. See here, this extension. That ear-shaped extension, which is seen anterior to this aorta, is known as what? Auricle. So right auricle is also clear. So these 2 points about the external features. Now, along the right border of the atrium, there is a shallow vertical groove. What is the name of that shallow vertical groove? Sulcus terminalis. Okay, see here, along the right border means approximately here. See here we can see a shallow groove. This groove which extends from the superior vena cava to inferior vena cava. See this groove, it is known as what? Sulcus terminalis. That groove, it is known as along the right border. That groove, it is known as sulcus terminalis. What is the importance of this sulcus terminalis? If you are checking the interior of this atrium, correspond to this sulcus terminalis, there we can see a ridge known as crista terminalis. I will show you here. See here, this thick part, this is what the opened atrium. Okay, so this ridge, this thick ridge, it is known as crista terminalis. So anyway, crista terminalis. What is that crista terminalis? See, if you are checking the inside of the sulcus terminalis, there we can see a ridge correspond to the sulcus terminalis. That ridge, it is known as crista terminalis. Okay. Now another point, SA node. See this sulcus terminalis, in the upper part there we can see SA node. So SA node is located here in the upper part of the sulcus terminalis. So first I told you this groove, it is known as sulcus terminalis. Second point, this groove which is produced by or deep to the groove or indeed internal to the groove, there we can see a ridge, a muscular ridge. That ridge, it is known as what? Crista terminalis. And here in this groove, there we can see the SA node. Okay, then right atrioventricular groove separates the right atrium from the right ventricle. I already told you what is meant by that. See, right atrioventricular groove. See, this is the atrium, this is the ventricle. So this groove here, I told you one groove is there. Okay, one shallow groove is there. Within that groove, we can see one artery. Okay, anyway, that groove which separates these two is known as what? Atrioventricular groove. Here, the right side, it is known as right atrioventricular. Here on the left side, left atrioventricular. Then right coronary artery and a small cardiac vein. See here, what we can see, right coronary artery is located in that groove, and another vein, small cardiac vein, is also located in that groove. So these are some of the external features of this right atrium. But I don't see externally we can see the opening of superior vena cava at the lower, at the upper end, and inferior vena cava at the lower end. Then extension. What is that extension? Auricle. Okay. Then sulcus terminalis, deep to the sulcus terminalis, cresta terminalis, and location of the SA node. And the last point about the atrioventricular groove and coronary arteries. Now, internal features of this right atrium. Now we are going to open this right atrium. See, this is what they opened right atrium. This is the right ventricle. Now we are going to discuss about the internal features of this right atrium. Okay, so this right atrium, which is divided into three parts. See, interior is divided into three parts. What are they? One posterior part, which is smooth. So smooth posterior part. Then anterior part, which is rough. So rough anterior part. Then septum. Interatrial septum, between the atrium. So interatrial septum. So we can divide the right atrium into three parts. Okay, what are they? Anterior part or anterior wall, posterior wall, then interatrial septum. First we will see the features of this posterior, smooth posterior part. Okay, there mainly we can see the openings of those veins. Okay, first point about its development. It develops from right horn of the sinus venosus. I will tell you later what is meant by this right horn of the sinus venosus. Okay, anyway, you have to study that. It develops from sinus venosus, right horn of the sinus venosus. Then there we can see some openings. See, so opening of the superior vena cava up to the upper end, then inferior vena cava at the lower end, and that opening which is guarded by a valve of inferior vena cava. See here, this is the opening of the inferior vena cava, and this one, this sheet, okay, that act like a valve known as valve of inferior vena cava. Okay, so here opening of the posterior part, actually it is not there in this diagram. See here, this is the approximately, here comes the opening of the superior vena cava, here comes the opening of the inferior vena cava. That inferior vena cava opening is guarded by valve of inferior vena cava. Okay, so first about its development, then two openings. Okay, so opening of superior vena cava, opening of the inferior vena cava. Then another opening of the coronary sinus, between the opening of inferior vena cava and the right atrioventricular orifice. What is that coronary sinus? Coronary sinus means it's a vein which drains the heart. The coronary sinus means, coronary artery means what? Coronary artery means those are the arteries supplies to the heart. So coronary vein. One among that is this coronary sinus. Okay. So anyway, it's a vein. That vein also drains into this right atrium. Okay, so there on the posterior one, we can see this opening of the coronary sinus. In addition to that vein, some small veins are also there. Venae cordis minimi. Okay, those veins are known as what? Venae cordis minimi. Okay, so openings of those veins are also seen in this posterior wall. Told you, on the posterior wall mainly we can see the openings of those veins. First one, superior vena cava. Second one, inferior vena cava. Third one, coronary sinus. These are the three major openings seen in the posterior wall. What are they? Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and coronary sinus. In addition to that, small openings are there. Venae cordis minimi. So posterior wall is clear. Posterior wall comparatively smooth. Okay, and with this major openings. Now rough anterior part. Okay. First of all, about its development, it develops from primitive atrial chamber. Then now we are going to discuss about the features. See, it is having pectinate muscle or musculae pectinate. Okay, what is that? See, I told you this is what the opened atrium. See, compare this to, see this is our atrium. And this one is a opened atrium. Now here on the anterior wall, there we can say some muscular ridges. See, these are ridges seen on the anterior wall of the atrium, it is known as what? Pectinate muscle or musculae pectinate. Okay, so musculae pectinate means those are muscular ridges seen in the anterior wall of the right atrium. All these pectinate muscles also, or musculae pectinate, reaches this crista terminalis. I told you what is that crista terminalis? Correspond to the sulcus terminalis. We are having a ridge. Okay, so this crista terminalis and this musculae pectinate gives a comb-like appearance. Okay, teeth of a comb. So musculae pectinate, which looks like teeth of a comb, along with the musculae pectinate and this crista terminalis plus musculae pectinate together gives a teeth-like appearance. Okay, so first important point, musculae pectinate and the crista terminalis. So indeed is anterior rough part. See, it is rough now because of the pectinate muscle and this crista terminalis. Okay, now interatrial septum, the third one. There we can see see one oval shaped depression. This is one. Now you can see the interatrial septum. Okay, this is what the interatrial septum. Here in this image, we are having the anterior wall and interatrial septum. We don't have the posterior wall. Okay, so this is the interatrial septum. Okay, so here we can see one oval shaped fossa or a depression known as fossa ovalis. Oval shaped, so ovalis. Fossa means depression. So fossa ovalis. Okay, its upper part. This part is thick. While comparing the, see, while checking the margin, see the lower part, no, it is not that much thick. This upper part which is thick, that thick upper margin of this fossa ovalis is known as what? Limbus fossa ovalis. So fossa ovalis means a oval shaped depression seen in the interatrial septum. Okay, so fossa ovalis, what is meant by that? Then that is clear. Then limbus fossa ovalis, that is also clear. See, sometimes actually this interatrial septum which develops from primary septum and secondary septum. See, septum primum and septum secundum means primary septum and secondary septum. See, for example, imagine this area which develops from primary septum, or this area develops from secondary septum. Okay, so anyway, it arises from two septum or two parts, primary and secondary septum. Okay, so as a result of fusion of this septum primum and septum secundum, this interatrial septum will form. Okay, so anyway, it is developed from septum primum and septum secundum. Sometimes it will fail to fuse. As a result, we can see a slit like opening there. Okay, so these are some of the important features of interatrial septum. So what are the points? It develops from septum primum and septum secundum, then fossa ovalis, oval shaped fossa, then limbus fossa ovalis, the upper thick ridge of this fossa ovalis is known as limbus fossa ovalis. Then failure of the fusion of this septum primum and septum secundum leads to the formation of slit-like opening. So these are the features of both the external and the internal features of right atrium. Okay, this is one important essay question, right atrium. Now we are going to discuss about the right ventricle. Okay, first of all, see, it receives blood from the right atrium and it gives blood to the pulmonary trunk. See, this is the right atrium. This one is a right ventricle. So this right ventricle receives the blood from this right atrium and it gives the blood to the pulmonary trunk. See the direction of flow. Okay. Now we have to discuss the external features of this, or features of this right ventricle. Externally, the right ventricle has two surfaces, anterior surface and inferior surface. I already told you. Okay. Then internal features. It is having one inflowing part and one outflowing part. Okay, this inflowing part, which is see here, this is what the inflowing part, and this one is an outflowing part. Say this right ventricle is having one inflowing part and one outflowing part. See, this one is an inflowing part and this one is an outflowing part. See, this inflowing part, which is rough because of some muscular ridges, are known as trabeculae carneae. So what is the difference, or what is meant by trabeculae carneae and what is meant by pectinate muscle? See, here in the case of atria, it is known as pectinate muscle. Here in the case of ventricle, it is known as what? Trabeculae carneae. Okay, so trabeculae carneae. Inflowing part I will show you later. Here. See here, this is what the inflowing part. This area, this is an outflowing part. This outflowing part comparatively smooth. So inflowing part, which is rough because of some muscular ridges, are known as trabeculae carneae. The trabeculae carneae, that muscular ridges, mainly three types are there: ridges, bridges, and pillars or papillary muscles. Some of them are ridges, muscular elevations. We basically three types. Some of them are ridges, some of them are bridges, some of them are pillars or papillary muscles. Okay, we have to go through the papillary muscles in detail. So first of all, trabeculae carneae. What is meant by trabeculae carneae? Elevations seen in the ventricle are known as trabeculae carneae. Basically, three types of elevations are there: pillars, pillar-like or papillary muscles, then bridges, which connects, then ridges. Then one end of the papillary muscle is attached to the wall of the ventricle. The other end is connected to the cusp of the tricuspid wall by chordated DNA. So what is meant by that? See, this right atrium, which communicates with the right ventricle, that opening is known as what? Right atrioventricular orifice. That orifice is guarded by tricuspid wall. See here in this diagram, we can see one cusp. So this is what one cusp, this white colored area. So this cusp, which is connected to, say here we can see papillary muscles, this pillar-like structures. Okay, here also some pillar-like structures are there on the opposite side. So anyway, these papillary muscles or pillars are connected to this cusp by some thread-like structures. See, these are the thread-like structures. So these papillary muscles are connected to the cusp by some thread-like structures are known as what? Chordae tendineae. Okay, so chordae tendineae means nothing but thread-like structures connecting this papillary muscle to this cusp. Okay, so papillary muscles, three types are there, then chordae tendineae. Now, what are the papillary muscles? Okay, see, we are having three papillary muscles. Say tricuspid wall means it is having three cusps. So automatically three papillary muscles are there: anterior, posterior, and septal. Anterior muscle is anterior pillar is the largest one, and posterior or the inferior is the smallest and irregular. Septal, which divides into numerous nipples or numerous small. See, anterior one is anterior one. There we can see a large pillar or a single pillar. See like this. See the cursor. See like this. We can see a pillar. Okay. Septal means we can see numerous small projections. See the cursor. Small projections are there. Okay. So those are the details of this trabeculae carneae. Now we are going to the outflowing part. I told you it is having inflowing part and outflowing part. Outflowing part, which is comparatively smooth, and pulmonary trunk arises from that. Okay, see this area. This is what the outflowing part, which is smooth, and pulmonary trunk arises from that. Now the interior shows two orifices: right atrioventricular orifice guarded by tricuspid wall, and pulmonary orifice guarded by pulmonary wall. See here, atrioventricular orifice guarded by tricuspid wall, and this pulmonary orifice guarded by pulmonary wall. Okay,